Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to El Chizo Review. Not El Chizo Reviews. We're not on my channel today. We are streaming from the Weekend Dojo. Yes, we're gonna try to make Sundays a regular day for streaming. We are not quite sure how that's going to shake out yet. Now, it doesn't look like we have anyone on board just yet. So, uh-oh. Let's kill that. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okie doke. We're going to add in JT Game TV. Hold on. And we have just invited him in. He will be with us in a moment. And I'm trying to find where the YouTube live comment feed is. I guess it's right here. Let's just check on him. And, oh, looks like the third guy will be coming in too.
Well,
back off your mic, buddy.
Sorry. This is a, fuck, how do I turn it up? Whoop. I don't know if I'm the right person to be doing this. Wait, am I supposed to be recording my end too?
Yeah, how it works is it'll automatically put whoever's speaking at the big screen.
Okay.
So like you were talking just then you took up most of the screen, then when I talk, I take up most of the screen.
It's not doing that for me.
It's just because I'm the one who's recording right now.
Oh, so you're the one that records. No, I get you. Okay, no, this is cool. Now, you do understand that my speech is pretty much rated R, right?
Yeah, hold on, the other guy's coming in. Just let me get Kenman Ryder in here.
By the way, guys, since you didn't get to meet me in the last episode, I am JT.
Okay, inviting the new guy. Well, we call him the new guy. He's an amazing editor, and he makes some pretty cool content. Yes, this is JT. Even though, from your perspective, I am Weekend Dojo. I am actually just El Chizo Reviews. We are all Weekend Dojo. We are the Dojomasters.
Now, I apologize to you guys in advance. I do not have my normal webcam, so I'm going to look like absolute shit. Try to get my good side.
Yep. Yeah, well, we won't judge him for that. He also doesn't have his usual lighting.
No, actually, it's usually just overhead lights with a nighttime background, but it's not nighttime, so fuck.
Yep.
I haven't really come up with a really good setup for me to deal with YouTube videos or live streams, YouTube videos and whatnot, so this is what I'm gonna have to deal with for the time being.
Yep. Well, what I'm doing right now, and you can see I've got some really okay lighting going on here. It's not too bright. What I did was I just took 2 desk lamps and just taped printer paper over them.
That's not a bad idea, just soft lighting, but I don't have 2 desk lamps, so I'll probably pick some up for cheap. Sorry, go ahead, add in Kenman, man.
Kenman Ryder.
Nice little play off of Kamen Rider, though.
Yep, he is Kamen Rider double, so.
Clever.
Yep, you will see his helmet once he signs in.
Yeah.
Okie doke. There he is.
And Kenman, what's up, my friend?
Hello.
That's a sick helmet.
Thank you. The W idea came from El
Chizo.
El Chizo.
El Chizo. Okay. Sorry.
I'm JT. Just refer to me as JT. I don't care if my real name's out there, but
okay. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So we are now live.
Yes, we are. I got the internet open for Nickelodeon stuff.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, that was the original planned agenda for tonight. We were going to discuss the life of Nickelodeon and how it's kind of changed over time and where it might be going.
I will warn you, I go off a topic a lot. El Chizo, sorry. You know this quite well, even though that's like a pseudonym anyway, but I will be the one to drag us completely off the topic of Nickelodeon, and El Chizo here will probably be the one that drags us back on topic.
Okay, cool, that works.
Alrighty. Well, how about we start with some of like Nickelodeon's origins, because a lot of people don't know this, but essentially, when it started, it just played reruns of classic cartoons.
Yes, and it was actually a 1979 when it started. It was called Pinwheel.
Did not know that. I just watched it as a kid to pass the time. I had nothing better to do with my life. I never have anything better to do with my life than pass the time.
Nice.
That's what the weekend's about. Anyway, so I believe it was about the 80s when they started producing their own content.
I have the history pulled up. See, 1977, Warner Cable Communications launched the first two-way interactive cable system. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Right. I think it was the 80s. It was the 80s. I'm sorry. I'm slow reading it also. LOL. Anyways, yeah, it was the 80s when they started producing their own stuff.
And that's about when we, I believe, got the first iteration of, Nick.
Yes, the bumpers.
Nickelodeon.
Yep.
Yeah. I believe, when did they start filming Power Rangers? I think that was like 95? They didn't pick it up right off.
And in 92, they were filming Power Rangers when Zoo Ranger was airing. Because Toei gave
what I mean is like... but yeah, Saban was produced, like, Saban originally worked to localize anime, so the Power Rangers was a new thing for him. Did he start off airing on Nickelodeon, or was it...
No, that was Fox Kids. Fox Kids Power Rangers.
Yeah, well, we'll come back to Power Rangers
then. Well, that's 2011 when Power Rangers comes into play.
Yep. But it was like from the 80s to the 90s is when Nickelodeon in its early days kind of started shaping into what we would know it as kids.
Yeah.
Like way back in the day. Like JT, what did you watch? Like, did you watch Nickelodeon as a kid?
Somewhat. I was more of a Cartoon Network kid, but the stuff that I did like to catch on Nickelodeon was like Hey Arnold and Recess and whatnot, and stuff like that.
Yes.
The Wild Thornberries and shit. What was the one? The dude held his eyes in his hands like this.
Real Monsters?
Yes. Yes. That one. Those are the ones that I watched the most. Those are probably what you would consider 90s cartoons.
Uh-huh. Oh, yep. And I'll throw back. Guys, I want to say a quick throwback.
Oh, God. That's one hell of a throwback. Hey, Gene Simmons.
No, don't spoil my secret. Okay, might as well say it here. It's like, if I try to laugh quiet, as a reflex, my tongue extends It's out of my mouth.
Good.
I can't do it on command.
Oh man, that sucks.
You gotta get him really going. Like if I sit there and pretend like I have cleavage, it makes him lose his shit. There it goes. There you go.
No.
Oh, you ass. Okay.
You put that image in my head.
Cut that shit out, JT.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Let's get back on. Let's just continue.
Yeah. Okay. So, back on the topic of Nickelodeon. Yeah, I believe those shows also ran across a show that I've only ever caught a few episodes of while it was airing, and that was Rocko's Modern Life.
Oh, that was great. I like how he accidentally joined a fucking sex phone line.
Or what about how on Heifer's credit card it was initialized ass. There was an old episode called Shizer Heads also.
How the hell did they get away with this shit?
I don't know, and it's like, especially when you compare to like the cartoons of today, where they really have to sneak it in.
Like they're really trying hard in SpongeBob now to sneak that stuff in. Remember the soap joke?
Oh doubloons,
no.
don't drop them.
I'm sure there's some now, but they're rare.
Yeah, like they really had to, like,
at least they got the
sure
original.
was PG.
Have you seen the movie, the SpongeBob SquarePants second movie?
Really?
Yeah. The second SpongeBob SquarePants movie, they had a whole lot of stuff in there. There was a whole 2-minute LSD scene also.
There was?
Which
scene was that? I mean,
it was the time travel scene where they're in the little time travel thing that Plankton makes, the time machine, and it's like, oh yeah, here we go now, and it's like the going through their mouth. Yeah.
Oh god, with all the spaghetti shit.
Hold on a second, I'm gonna play that scene. Let's see, it's
Was it on Oh shit, who was the pirate guy? The Green Ghost pirate.
The Flying Dutchman?
Yeah, was it on the Flying Dutchman ship? Oh
no, that was the Fly of Despair.
Here's the scene. It's 1 minute.
Oh Jesus, this one. Oh.
And that music.
Shit, I remember this.
It's
actually
the SquarePants movie, time travel.
Funny. Oh yeah. Funny story about that. Bringing me back to one of my acid is a very powerful drug. Kids, I don't recommend you do this. But I was tripping wicked balls on acid. I'd taken 2 hits, and 2 hits for me is like, wow.
Were you watching SpongeBob while doing it?
That specific scene, my buddy Freddie looks over at me and he goes, "Hey, here." So I go, oh, dude, no. It was like a train wreck. I couldn't look away. I was tweaking balls on this until he took the phone away and handed me some Sour Patch Jelly Beans.
Watch Ren and Stimpy. That's a whole experience on itself.
Oh God.
Okay. Audience, we would like to say right now that that Weekend Dojo does not condone the use of narcotics.
No, hell no.
It is neither big nor clever. But it does create some interesting stories for us to tell here.
Yeah, most of the stories that I will tell happen to be about me being on drugs, but I will recommend that you never do drugs because, like, a lot of drugs, a lot of different types of drugs will eat ice cream scoop-sized chunks out of your brain. Back to Nickelodeon.
But feel free to laugh
Nickelodeon.
But feel free to laugh at him.
Right. Because I was a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Okay, so on the subject of Nickelodeon, let's discuss briefly the origin of their most powerful marketing engine, SpongeBob SquarePants, as long as we're on that subject. Let's talk about the origins. Interestingly enough, he was originally not going to be square.
Oh yeah, wasn't he supposed to be like a curvy sponge, like a literal curvy sponge?
Yes, but they couldn't draw it right, and he ended up looking like a potato, so they just went for the kitchen sponge.
Yeah, I remember that because I saw the earlier concept art when remember Nickel Magazine? We'll get on that later, but Nick Magazine had a whole article about it.
Yep, I believe it was the mid to late '90s when Nickelodeon launched Nick Jr. as well.
Yes.
I'm gonna play music in the background, just warning you guys, because like I can't stand the dead silence of my house.
Okay, I'll add some Nickelodeon music. I'll put some '90s Nick themes.
Actually, let's avoid the Nick themes just for now, so that we're not. Yeah.
Huh?
That's also copyright infringement if we decide we're going to monetize this.
Okay.
So
what we'll do.
Talking about it's one thing, but if you try to include their music, they're going to like come down on your ass real hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they get angry about that, but
I'm pretty sure they're ran by Jews. I said nothing. Just go ahead.
Okay. Way to bring us to a grinding freaking halt.
It's like, oh my god, you guys just both shut up when I start saying the racist shit. Like, really, what the hell, you guys?
All right. Anyways, what about?
It's not relevant.
What about?
Moving on from that comment.
Nickelodeon Studios.
Nickelodeon Studios. The whole we're gonna splash you with slime.
Yes.
Like
remember
Shrek jizz.
Remember Nickelodeon Studios or Universal Studios, Florida?
Yeah. No, I've never been there.
The show ended with Legends of the Hidden Temple was filmed in front of a live studio audience at Nickelodeon Studios at Universal Studios, Florida.
God, that fucking little addendum that they put at the end of their shows.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the most annoying thing in the world. It was like, just move on to the next. I wanted them to move on to the next episode of people getting shot with the Incredible Hulk semen.
Okay, you don't hear it, but for me, it cut out and then jumped right to Incredible Hulk.
I'm gonna use that joke now.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Fucking almost shot Pepsi out my nose.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so actually, I remember. Who else remembers Nick Pick Boy?
Yes, the Nick Pick Boy.
Pick Boy and Slime. He came on like Friday nights, usually after Slime Time Live. He still, I believe he still shows up at Choice Awards. Doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he would have to, because they couldn't just kill off the character. And he got, like, his costume changed a few times, if I remember.
Yeah.
Now, I always wanted to know what, like, the recipe for the chemical concoction that slime is. Is it just cornstarch and water?
Hold on a second. They've released it online. I can find it. And keep blowing that smoke.
Sorry, it's the thing that keeps me from smoking cigarettes. I'm trying to quit.
Okay. Let's see, Nickelodeon slime. Once again. Recipe ingredients. Hold on a second. Okay, so the ingredients is I'm trying to find. Let's see. Nickelodeon keeps this exact.
While you're while you're searching for that, I just have to say
it is a secret. Never mind.
Dang! I feel like it's just cornstarch, water, and green food coloring.
That's pretty much the basic gist of it.
Yeah,
I mean, if you got tickets,
sticky.
Yep. If you got tickets to Slime Time Live, and you got front row seats, you went there in your friggin' like an old ass T-shirt and your swimming trunks, because you were not risking a.
You were getting slimed. I'm sorry.
Oh, and you can watch recordings of Slime Time Live on YouTube. There are recordings.
speaking of which, do you really like? Speaking of Slime Time Live and Nick Pick Boy, if they were to bring those back, do you think that they'd be successful, or do you think they were merely a product of their time?
Dude, they'd be
Successful.
successful.
Who? I mean, kids. I mean, they don't slime anyone anymore unless it's at the Kids' Choice Awards, and people always love that.
Interjection. I feel like they if they brought those guys back, it would be more. It would probably drag in more audiences from like the 90s generation, the older generations, because they remember this shit, and then they'd get disappointed because, well, it'd be changed in some way, shape, or form because it'd have to be kid appropriate, you know.
Yeah.
Or
Wait,
time for the not kid appropriate, but it's gotta change with the times.
Okay, wait. There wasn't anything bad about what they did in Slime Time in the 2000?
That's why I corrected myself. Is no, there wasn't anything bad, but they'd have to change it to fit in with the times.
Oh, okay, like the music and all that stuff.
Yeah, because no kid's gonna watch that without it being like fucked up like Cartoon Network is now.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
true.
not trying to drag it back to Cartoon Network, but that's the only thing I can compare it to. Those were the
Yeah,
two
it's like
big
it's the major competitor.
Right, those were the two major competitors of the day. And like, yeah, Kids WB had it in there, but Kids WB and 4Kids had it, but only on Saturday mornings when the anime would show up.
Yeah, and then
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Then FCC had to intervene, which that's a whole nother topic we can talk about another time.
And Jetix as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, Jetix actually exists still. It just became Disney XD in a whole.
That's bullshit, but...
Well, because they still have reruns of X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, if I'm correct. Don't they... or was that when they were first starting where they kept those reruns? I can't remember. Hold on.
That's about when the channel died, I believe.
Yeah, I remember when Disney XD first started. Cause I don't have it, but I know because I've seen it occasionally. Like Spider-Man, the animated series, the Incredible Hulk. Like Hulk, Incredible Hulk. They all the '90s Marvel stuff played on there, and Power Rangers still before.
I was in love with Spider-Man the cartoon.
Same.
Oh my God.
Anyways, back to Nickelodeon.
Sorry. But I mean, like, we can't just stick with Nickelodeon because there's a lot of factors that we're going to have to draw in from the other
evolve to just
our channels.
Generation.
Yep.
How about we just go with our generation's cartoons with this generation just to make it easy?
Blanket, if this wasn't your experience, I apologize, but I feel like a lot of us as kids got into anime thanks to 4Kids and Jetix.
Then Toonami. You can't leave out Toonami.
You can never leave out Toonami.
Exactly.
They had the best lineup. Don't get me wrong. 4Kids had a good lineup, but if you really wanted to catch the adult-oriented shit with your deviant-ass little kid self, you went to Toonami, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I had the biggest... I'm sorry. Go ahead. I talk a lot.
Sailor Moon, Gundam,
Inuyasha.
Inuyasha, yep.
And if you stayed up if you stayed up late, you were able to catch friggin' Blood Plus and the Big O.
The Big O was great.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. For a while, there was FLCL.
Yeah. Dude, like I was friggin' in 2nd grade when like Cooley came out. And that is the trippiest thing to show a 2nd grader.
Right? Right. Oh my God.
I would stay up late on the weekends.
Catch like 6 hours of sleep and just be done with it.
I was a sucker for Sailor Moon on Adult Swim.
Same here. I could hug you if we weren't in the camera.
High five.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what about Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam?
Everybody likes Gundam, as long as it's old Gundam.
Yep, and then it depends on like which then it depends on like which century you're talking about, because everyone at least agrees that Universal Century is a good timeline. But then you've got like Mobile Fighter G Gundam, which was the first one I ever watched, actually. If you guys remember that, it had Shining Gundam, and then later on it became Burning Gundam in the English dub.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about one of the lesser known ones that showed up on Toonami? Trigun.
Oh, Trigun.
How old is Evangelion, by the way?
Oh Christ.
Isn't that from our time?
That's about 2010.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was older. The music made it sound like a 90s.
It might be like 2008-ish.
Ooh, I know one. Zoids.
Zoids, oh my god. Zoids. I used to have the toys and I also swallowed the little guys just like I did for my Voltron.
Rex Zoid I could never put together.
I'm a model nerd myself. I do mainly Gunpla, but Zoids, I've always wanted one. I just didn't. I want to get Liger Zero. And
yes!
So
I had
a Liger Zero.
I really want them. I can't remember the names of any of them, but like I had the giant T-Rex one. I really always wanted the main red wolf one, or the red lion. That kind of looked like the Power Rangers Wild Force Lion Zord. So I call it like the robotic Lion Zord.
Yeah. No, that's Liger Zero.
Okay, that is okay.
And then it had different armor sets that it could swap out.
Yeah, I was shitting the little dudes who sat in the Zoids and the the Voltron toys for like weeks after getting them, because like they gave them to me as a little kid, so the little dudes were like that fucking big, so I just and I'd be shitting out little dudes.
Now we're talking about stupid stuff we did as kids.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's cool, but
it's fine.
Let's see. So if we compared Toonami to what Nickelodeon was at the time, then you can definitely tell there was a difference in audience going on.
Yes. Most of the older teens went to Cartoon Network, while a lot of the nostalgia, or if older, actually, no, the transition started in like 2009 when Nick started going dull. And the key sign that you first knew Nickelodeon was going down was when they changed their splat to a boring red,
streamlined.
Yeah, and then there was no more slime after that. And that's how you knew that major changes happened, and basically they've cleaned up their look. They've gotten more stern on what they are showing on TV.
Yeah, I mean, and they did try to appeal to an older audience with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Teen Nick.
Yeah, that's the only thing that managed to keep us gone, and iCarly a little bit, but that's a whole other thing.
iCarly was weird because like I grew up on Drake and Josh.
Yes. Yeah,
and so
seeing Megan
Carly was Carly was always Megan, and her older brother in that show was always the crazy guy from the movie theater.
Yeah. Crazy movie theater guy. That's his only name.
Crazy Steve. That's his name. I remember. I have a good memory. So yeah, Crazy Steve was his name. I want Dora the Explorer. Yes, I can take it. I can't remember what it was. That was in the hurricane episode. Remember, they were stuck in, and then they had the wind up TV. Dora was on. He's like, find the, and then he's like standing there watching the Dora, and then when it goes off, he gets all whiny. If you looking back on that, that's like a straight up joke on autism, but it was well escalated. I have autism, so I can laugh at that.
No, yeah, I'm with you on that. But yeah, definitely, he was. I'm not gonna say low functioning because he was able to hold a job.
Yeah.
Somehow, I think it's just because they had the worst boss.
Well, Helen is just as extremely tolerative and just likes yelling at people.
I'm gonna drag you to a bit of the theories real quick.
Yeah.
I might have to get checked out by a psychiatrist.
Oh, okay.
I've been saying a lot of things for like the past couple of years that fall really well in line with depersonalization disorder.
Okay. Tell us after. We'll talk after the stream.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't plan to end this.
I forgot we were recording. Fuck.
Yeah,
we can edit.
But yeah, so, no, this kind of just goes right onto YouTube. So
that's fine.
I don't really care if my personal problems show up on the internet. Honestly.
Yep, we're still roughly on track. So
yeah.
Let's compare what was showing on Cartoon Network as we were kids versus Nickelodeon real quick.
All right, let's see. Johnny Bravo, the most perverted show you'll ever see as a kid's show.
Versus Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, 3 potheads on their showing us the results of why they got high. I know it was 4 potheads that get high and have ghostly adventures in their imagination. Let's see what else we want to add. Yogi Bear.
Actually, speaking of like Johnny Bravo, is that not just the character that everyone hates these days? Like you actually meet this person in real life if you go to the gym or just for a walk.
Yeah.
Yes.
You meet this muscle-bound, gelled-up. He's a douche. I mean,
for lack of a better term, douchebag.
And he lives with his mother, has no redeeming qualities.
I'm crying.
What about Grim Adventures of... I know this isn't... We're comparing shows between the two, but Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which pretty much gave rise to a whole fucking generation of goth.
Fred Burger.
Actually.
Fred Burger.
Just think about it.
Oh man, my dad loved Fred Burger, man.
You ask any goth kid our age right now if they've seen the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and they will tell you they were all over that shit when they were a kid.
Yeah, and then it's like, what was the other, like, the closest thing we can compare it to for Nickelodeon was Danny Phantom.
Yes.
Right, and even then it wasn't as...
Wait, another impression time. Beware, I am the box ghost. Beware my mighty cardboard folding powers.
But it's like you had one goth character in Danny Phantom, and then like the rest of it was just generally spooky-ish. Mm-hmm. And then you had Billy and Mandy, which focused on like demons and the underworld.
Yeah, like straight up.
Mandy was definitely a character that if you're looking at these days would not be on a kid's show.
Hell no. Actually, that was trivia for you. That was actually slated to be released on Adult Swim for a while, but when they discovered that kids liked Billy and Mandy, they put it on Cartoon Network and kind of dumbed down the show.
That's right. You remember
much like a regular show. I
noticed the difference in TV rating on different episodes. Ooh, what about that one show? I can't remember the full name of it. It was like a kid who time traveled with this smart guy.
Okay, hold on. I have to say something real quick. Hi, Tone.
Tone.
Yeah, she's watching us right now. She's our one viewer.
Is that your fangirl?
Yeah, she started watching because of the scruff, and
nice. Hi, I'm oh, one second, let me get my helmet. I might as well grab my sweatshirt while I'm here too.
Nope, that was a bad idea. There we go.
I'm Kenman Rider W.
Yep. So just a quick introduction for our one viewer, El Chizo.
JT.
Oh, 1 second. Wait, once I get this zipped up and on. Kenman Rider W.
Okay, so back on topic.
The eye holes. Okay.
So back on topic. Okay, so Billy and Mandy. How many of us had no clue that Grim was Jamaican until we had started growing older?
Oh, I never realized that.
He was Jamaican.
Just now.
And okay, so here's the thing: is like, I don't know if you can call that racist because like, he was a skeleton. We have no clue.
He was a dead There was a point in time where he was dressed up as a Jamaican.
Oh, that is right. I did realize that.
Was that him or was that his grandma?
That was him.
Yeah, he was dressed like a Jamaican once.
True. Then it's like there was this one episode where, like, you know, with the Harry Potter ripoff.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, the Harry Potter ripoff.
And
As
you know,
I
it's
disappear
like
into a cloud.
I like how he's forced to live with them all because of a bet that failed.
Fucking limbo.
Limbo. Yep. All goes back to that limbo tournament.
Yep. And you know, I honestly, my favorite Grim Adventures thing ever was the Underfist Halloween special.
My favorite was, remember Spider Queen, or remember when Fred Burger took over the world at the end of Spider Queen?
Oh yeah.
Fred, give me nachos. Nachos.
My preference was when Billy had a kid with a spider.
Oh, he didn't have a kid with a spider. He hatched the egg.
Oh yeah, he hatched the egg.
Thinking it was a chicken.
Oh yeah. Remember when his son was the cow or whatever? Chocolate milk. Or no, he had a spider son. He had a spider son, and then it was the chocolate milk that he was trying to get.
Yeah. December 26th, 1984.
I miss Billy and Mandy.
And you can't find it on like Hulu or Netflix. I've looked.
What about Kiss Cartoon has it? What about that Nickelodeon show Kablam?
I've never heard of it.
Was that the one where the guy found the magic ring that was intended for a girl?
No, that Kablam it was about Henry and June, two comic book characters inside a comic book who would introduce cartoon shorts that that would play in the middle, and it played out like a cartoon, like a comic book talk show type thing, and then they would have cartoon shorts in the middle, like the Action League Now with the Flesh, Thunder Girl, Meltman, like a naked He-Man doll. And then they had Prometheus and Bob, which was about a alien and his recorded attempts of training a caveman to do everyday tasks and failing miserably.
Actually, since we're talking about the weird adventures of In Between, can we talk about the origin of Toonami real quick and how it wasn't always Tom?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
It used to be Voltar was the host. You know Voltar from Space Ghost?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Space Ghost.
And then Voltar built Tom.
Oh yeah, he's the praying mantis guy, right?
No, Voltar was the guy with the helmet.
Oh, Voltar. Oh, 1 second. Let me get my phone and look him up. Voltar.
I'd do the same, but I just tomahawked my fucking phone across the room.
Voltar.
But yeah, he built Tom and the Absolution to broadcast Toonami across the galaxy, more or less.
Oh! He was in you mean the Voltar from Supervillain, what was it? Voltar.
You can do it.
League of Super Evil.
No. Voltar. Maybe it was.
That's Voltar.
I think. Look up Space Ghost and then type in VOL.
Okay.
Because I'm positive that's how his name started.
VOL. Was it Brack?
No, Brack was the Mantis dude. Voltar, or at least the guy I'm thinking of. Wait. No. Like I said, he wore like a hazmat suit.
Once again, Space Ghost characters.
I miss the Venture Bros.
The Venture.
Oh yeah. Is he the guy at the table?
I can't see too well. Yes, he's the one right there in the center.
Okay, I see who you're talking about. Yeah. I miss that show. Space Ghost was awesome. Huh, 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 huh. That's funny. Batman the Animated Series.
Oh.
Template. That's funny. We should talk about Batman the Animated Series also. And Fox Kids while we're at it. And Kids WB.
Didn't watch it. Kind of got pissed off when all the anime ended, so I turned it off.
Yep.
You never watched
Mooch? Who watched Mucha Lucha?
Yeah, I did. Mucha Lucha, that was
Ricochet!
Oh yeah. The little dog thing, yeah.
And the Flea.
Huh?
The Flea. He was the luchador who was constantly filthy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, do you remember Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Before that, I always had this little headcanon that Ricochet grew up to be that one fella from Ultimate Muscle.
Kid Muscle?
Yeah.
Yep, actually, that's a different story, which we'll get into when we start covering the Fox box. But
what about remember? I have a question for you guys. What is your favorite Courage the Cowardly Dog villain?
Doc Gerbil.
How about yours?
Tough.
No. Marion's nephew.
Oh yes,
the barber who spoke only in rhyme.
Okay, the fella in the first season that was pretty much like the big real life head that was just in negative.
Oh yes, mine? Guess who mine was? Believe it or not, the Italian foot mafia. Yeah, it's a heist. Yeah, a heist. If you don't do what we say, the fat thing's gonna get it. See.
See, the episode that bothered me the most was the end of the first season when Courage puts Muriel and Eustace on puppet strings because they're dead.
I don't remember that.
The crocodile?
I believe so.
Who was the cat guy? I can't remember.
At the end of the episode,
Cats, yeah, okay.
He has Muriel and Eustace up on little marionette strings.
Because he couldn't turn them back from puppets.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So basically, it gives me the idea that anything happened that happened after that point was all in his head.
It was always all in his head, according to some theories. It was just like the view of the real world from the point of a dog that was abandoned as a puppy.
Yeah. So he saw like a chef as a pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that episode? Actually, the pig chef.
The one who made the hamburgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that we've turned this into a gigantic episode, if you remember when.
Oh, or wait, the one that scared the living shit out of everyone.
Case in point.
Return the slab or suffer.
Oh, the Curse of Ramses.
Who here was
so JT? Hold on, JT, you had something?
Oh no, I said now that we've turned this back into like a big old you remember when. Do you think that Courage the Cowardly Dog had influenced youth as we know it today?
It definitely did. I feel like because in general we have this very popularized love of creepiness these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Creepypasta.
Absolute creepypasta, American Horror Story, all this mainstream horror. Anywho,
I feel like it created the stigma that kids these days are just desensitized to any violence.
Which isn't very true. I think
it created
Power Rangers has dumbed down extremely since the early 2000s. But yeah, it's the other way around if you think about it.
Yeah, I feel like that stigma screwed us. Honestly, it gave people our age, or it gave people the wrong impression about kids our age. Not gonna call us millennials because I hate that fucking term.
Yeah.
But
what's annoying is when people who technically are millennials use the word millennial as a derogatory term. A millennial is anyone born after 1980.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm
Generation
just saying.
X is the correct term.
Yeah, Gen X. Thank you, Kenman. I couldn't remember the terminology behind that, but I feel like now there's this stigma has given people older than us the wrong impression of 90% of the youth. Well, not 90%, but a solid 75% of the youth. Well, the 25% that's not complete douchebags, I should say.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, he's going to be out for a little bit, so talking about let's move on to like the Fox box, because I'm not sure if you remember the Fox box.
No, I think I smoked that brain cell.
Oh, well, it was the one with Ultimate Muscle on it.
Can I say that on video?
Well, I mean, it's like I think so, because like you're not actually. I mean, I don't think we'll be able to monetize this unless we really kind of enforce the idea that we're not condoning the use.
No, really, we are not condoning the use of narcotics, tobacco, or alcohol. It's actually pay attention to the health concerns. Don't be little douchebags.
Yeah. So, anyway, the Fox box ran Ultimate Muscle as well as Sonic X. If you remember Sonic X.
Yes, I remember Sonic X. Are you back?
Yep. I had to take care of something.
No worries.
So, talking about Ultimate Muscle, there's actually a history behind that. You see, Ultimate Muscle was actually a sequel series.
Okay.
What? I've never heard of Ultimate Muscle.
Oh, big bad boys from outer space. Ultimate. It was a...
Hold on.
You'll remember when you see the very, very muscular
wrestling
character.
Yeah, well, actually, you see, we call him Kid Muscle, but in the Japanese version of the show called Kinnikuman Nisei, Kinnikuman Nisei means Muscle Man Junior.
Oh, I remember this now.
And then, so a lot of us remember these little muscle figures from back in the 90s that would fit in your pocket, and all of the characters of those muscle figures were actually Kinnikuman figures.
Oh, yeah.
So, what kind of voice was that?
What about the BattleBots? Or it was like an anime about battling robots.
Metabots.
Metabots, yeah.
Yes. Oh, somebody else knows.
Yes.
Oh my god, I had such a wicked crush on the female protagonist of Metabots. Like, I got my first erection to her.
Yeah, I don't want to know that.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm the vulgarity of the group, and I stand by that.
Okay. What about Beyblade and Beyblade V-Force?
V-Force, not so much, but I did watch Beyblade.
Yeah, I remember I used to be way into that as a kid. I loved all of the game anime, like, yes, like Beyblade. Who remembers Battle Beat 'em On?
Yes, I do. That was.
I had that to shoot my sister.
They had those little robots that had the thing in their chest that shot out.
Yep, the little marbles. We'll come back to Beat 'em On in just a second, but it's like it was Beyblade, Beat 'em On, Yu-Gi-Oh. Those were my jam.
I had an Obelisk Tormentor card, but like the original Obelisk. But guess what? Bad things happened to it. Got poured on by water.
I've lost many a good card that way. But Beat 'em On actually originates from the Bomberman video game, believe it or not.
Oh, I had that for N64.
Really?
Yeah. Because it started out
on my N64 emulator.
It all starts with this anime called Bomber Beat 'em On, and you can look this up if to anyone who has their phone. But Bomber Beat 'em On, it was this old thing where you had little Bomberman figures, and they would essentially, you would have to push the marble into their stomach instead of dropping it in, which was horrible for the plastic, by the way. Children don't ever do this. And then you'd squeeze the prongs to fire it.
Hold on. This?
No, it was Bomber, or it was like Bomberman beat 'em on or something. Yeah, okay. JT's showing off his Egyptian, the Egyptian god cards.
I will do you one better. This one.
Exodia?
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, nostalgia. Well, we're on the topic of nostalgia and whatnot.
Game-based anime.
Yeah, game-based anime. I lump that all into nostalgia
Bakugan
because
Battle Brawlers.
that's what I call it. Huh?
Bakugan Battle Brawlers.
I had those, and once again, I threw them at my sister.
Yep.
Pyro? Do you have
oh yeah, Pyro. I've got somewhere around here. I've got the Bronze Dragonoid.
Ooh, do you have
all three iterations of Blue Eyes?
Sorry, do you say something, Kemet?
Subterra Gorum. Do you have Subterra Gorum?
I don't have Gorum. Dragonoid was actually the only partner Bakugan I ever actually had from the show, and it was always the bronze one, and then later iterations of it.
Yeah.
I always liked the look of the original, though.
My favorite in terms of Bakugan was always Subterra Gorum. Guess why?
Why?
What does he remind you of?
No idea.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord.
He does look a little bit like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Bakugan is still going, isn't it?
Nope, it died out years ago.
Oh,
that's the Dojomasters.
Yeah, Duel Masters. That was like a flash in the pan.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
In and out of the fucking channel.
Yeah, it tried to bank on the Yu-Gi-Oh popularity to
Duel Masters. Wasn't that the show where they went into a virtual world or whatever?
No, it was like they were bringing monsters in from another world.
That was that show was. I didn't really care for it.
No, but then Card Fight Vanguard was able to capitalize on that a little better.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, if I had to say, Card Fight Vanguard was actually. I'm going to get destroyed in the comments for this, but Card Fight Vanguard, I feel, was actually a better show than Yu-Gi-Oh was.
It depends on which Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh GX was terrible in my opinion, and I may get bashed already. I may get bashed for saying this, but I loved Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds.
Actually, if you listened, I don't know if you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series. But they actually told you how much of each you should skip, and they said some of 5Ds, most of GX, and all of Zexal.
Well, I loved 5Ds. I loved the whole the dual runners, and I loved the plot with Yusei being under. You're tilting your head. You hate 5Ds, don't you?
I actually like 5Ds. I thought it was a pretty cool.
Yes, I love the plot. And the Crimson Dragon, that card is awesome.
Card games on motorcycles.
Tron. That's all I have to say. Tron.
Yep. There was some
fanboy, by the way.
There were some ridiculous bike designs in 5Ds, if I may be so bold.
He's just munching, being silent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just about ready to go the way of Bakugan, because the reason Bakugan failed, in my opinion, is because the game got too complex towards the end.
Yeah. Magic the Gathering is ongoing, but they keep disqualifying cards to make a profit off of new ones.
That's also true, but I think the biggest issue is that the rules are getting too complicated. Have you seen Pendulum Signs?
Yes, actually.
It makes my okay. You know when you buy an Arc V deck.
I haven't bought a Yu-Gi-Oh deck since 5Ds.
Oh well, when you buy an Arc V deck,
Okay.
And you open it. It says to go to the official website and watch a video tutorial to learn how to use pendulum summonings.
Oh dang! I'm not doing that.
Do you see the problem?
Yes, I do. I don't use video tutorials to learn how to use a card.
I'm gonna let the two of you get crucified in the comments for this.
Okay, so to be fair, to cover my own ass, I do believe pendulum summonings can work well if you're above the age of 12.
I died out of Yu-Gi-Oh! A while ago, so I can't really say anything about the new
I don't see a lot of fucking 6-year-olds watching our shit, though. Not with me on here.
No, I hope so. It's like, oh, parents, if you're watching with your kids, tell your kids to leave the room now, but don't turn off the video.
Ooh, now, since he's drinking a Pepsi, can we bring up Pepsi Man?
No,
Pepsi
we cannot.
Man.
God damn it. Why do you do this?
Oh, man, Pepsi Man. He's just a guy in a friggin' metallic morph suit.
He was actually CGI. He was actually...
Yeah, he's CGI.
Basically, that's another nostalgia throwback from the early 2000s and late 90s.
When we could get away with
though.
throwing people who didn't need to be in skin suits in skin suits.
Well, Pepsi Man wasn't a guy in a skin suit. It was actually a CG animated person pretty much looked like a Terminator 2. There are skin suits for Pepsi Man, though.
But the way they CG'd that shit was with a green skin suit.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
Ha 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 ha.
You had to use logic. Well, I can't speak any more of that.
There I am.
I'm sorry, but I just don't want to see the outline of another dude's nuts.
Okay, what did I miss? I froze for a minute there.
We're talking about the Pepsi Man being in a skin suit when he really didn't need to be, and his package just kind of like curving outward.
Yeah, that is.
You remember Pepsi Woman, the for Diet Pepsi commercials?
I do not remember Pepsi Woman.
That was my first introduction to nipples.
The cringe is real.
Not really, guys. Not really.
Yeah. Okay, so
I'm gonna get crucified for that one. I'm gonna be a meme.
Oh yeah.
Is that your goal?
Like,
to be a meme?
Speaking of Pepsi Man, how many of you have played the Pepsi Man video game?
No.
I unfortunately have not been able to, but Jew Wario played it.
Rest in peace. Yeah. But yeah, he did. I actually got it emulated.
On what? How do I get it?
Oh well, I got the PSX emulator, and then I threw the ROM on my computer.
I have that. I just have trouble.
Sorry, not the ROM.
I have the PSX emulator, something like that, and I just because I have the Kamen Rider Japanese game emulated, but I don't know. I'm having trouble opening it.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, Pepsi Man was essentially the original Temple Run.
Yeah, and fun fact: Pepsi Man was created in America, but only marketed in Japan.
Yeah, that's one of the weirder marketing campaigns, isn't it?
And it was all in English with Japanese subtitles.
Man, back in the day when everything had to have a mascot.
Yep.
1 second, I just got a text. I think from you.
From me?
Maybe it wasn't. Let's see.
Nope, it wasn't from me.
Okay, then it was from someone else. It was on Hangouts.
That would be me.
Okay, let's see. Ichi, I would like to mention our game, but
hey,
don't
read out loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was advice from this guy.
Yeah, actually, since we didn't know when you were gonna hop on, and I said, in the meantime, it's like if you needed to kill time, JT here is actually building a weekend dojo kind of game.
Ooh,
Yeah, so
I'm interested. Let's do it.
I won't lie, it's okay. I wasn't going to plan on spending that much time talking about it because I don't want to straight like advertise the shit because it's still in development, but
Yeah,
I
so
will put it out there.
without giving too much away, why don't you without giving too much away, just give us like the little bits that you feel are important.
Well, I'll drop the title, okay? It's called Otaku Senki Reviewger, El Chizo in Reviewiverse. He came up with the story for the game. It's being built, and I will be doing a video later on retracting my previous statements about the company RPG Maker. It's built in RPG Maker MV, which is like 200 times better than VX Ace. My God, VX Ace made me want to splatter my brains across the back wall. Anyway, no, that's how rough it was. And as per the name, yes, as in the title of the software developer, it is an RPG made after three specific characters in the El Chizo's version of the Reviewiverse.
Ooh.
Now,
however, I'm not spoiling storyline with it. All I can tell you is I should have a playable demo in the next couple weeks.
Nice. I guess I might as well say how I'm involved in this. I am an extended universe character who travels through dimensions. I think that's how we explained it, right?
Oh, well, one thing we should clarify here is like this is the extended universe outside of the game. But first, we should clarify for our audience who probably don't know what the Reviewiverse was.
Yeah, the Reviewiverse is like a story we're making out of this YouTube.
Well, the Reviewiverse actually existed before us.
It did under Jew Wario, Mars Girl.
Apollo Z Hack was the one who coined the term.
Yes.
Everyone in Channel Awesome was part of it.
We're right. All three of us are like doing a story that takes place after the events of Farewell Family Kamen Rider, right? That's how we're doing.
Well, actually, what's happening is like essentially all of the stuff that happened in Channel Awesome, all of the Reviewiverse events there.
Yes.
Happened like several years after the events of Farewell Family Kamen Rider, according to the official timeline. What we are is we are a second generation.
Okay, cool. All right. All right. Thanks for clarifying what I thought.
Reviewiverse kind of got separated into zones instead of individual universes.
Yeah.
Basically, all the terminology changed due to Gen 2 coming out.
Yeah.
Yep, and like everyone kind of understands.
I protect the East Coast.
Yeah, everyone kind of understands what the transition from Generation 1 to Generation 2 means. Firstly, everyone's gonna love Generation 1 more.
Naturally, we're douchebags compared to Gen 1.
Yeah,
and it's like while we may do some,
while they're the Avengers.
Yep, and while in our growth we may do some more interesting or dynamic things.
Mm-hmm.
We will never be as appreciated as the original, and I'm okay with that because I don't want to be as appreciated as the original. I want them to maintain the level of love that they have accrued over time through hard work.
We're pretty much riding the coattails.
Jew Wario is one of my top 5 favorite YouTubers.
Yep. Kind of a serious note.
He's actually number 1.
Yep. On a serious note, like Jew Wario, like all memorials to him, friggin' the movie. That's like the only shit that gets me to cry anymore.
Mm-hmm. Can we all agree that he is the best of the group?
Yeah, his content.
Well, I think Jew Wario and Angry Video Game Nerd are kind of...
Angry Video Game Nerd, of course. By the way, he actually recently reviewed Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and he's a new fan.
Yep, and I love how he threw in references to the Sentai.
Yes. He's actually watched Sentai. Zuleja! Zuleja!
He was shouting the Japanese in the song, and it was hilarious.
Yes.
I'm such a dork. I don't care.
I don't care either. One of my friends, as a joke, calls
One
me
moment.
Power Ranger fetish boy for some reason.
I'll be back in just a moment.
Yep.
Okay. Because I'm a huge Power Ranger fanboy, one of my friends calls me the Power Ranger fetish boy for some reason. It makes no sense out of in context, but
it's probably a spandex joke.
That's exactly what it is. It's a spandex joke.
Yeah.
He said that because of the spandex.
Yeah. Well, I think many of us. Geez, I think a lot of younger boys and some girls hit puberty had that talk a little earlier than expected.
Yeah.
With their parents, the moment Ninja Storm hit. Blue Ranger, Ninja Storm. Think about it.
Oh yeah, the surfer thing.
She was a surfer, but also think about her Ranger costume.
Hold on, wait. I noticed. I know she had a shirt. Oh, wait, is it because of the silver legs or whatever?
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you watch her do cartwheels, I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, but essentially the blue part of her uniform is just a leotard over a silver undersuit. So when she flips, the skirt falls down. So a lot of kids had to have that talk with their parents way earlier than planned.
Thank you, Saban.
Well, thank you, Toei, for giving us that footage, and thank you for Saban. Thank you to Saban for leaving it in.
Yes. Actually, no, thank you, Disney, for leaving that in, because Saban had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that was a Disney season, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Wild Force to RPM.
Yep, and then RPM was kind of supposed to be when Power Rangers got canceled, which is why they gave it such a gritty theme.
Yep. Because Disney was like, here, do what you want with it. We don't care. We're ending it.
Yeah, and that was like interesting because I don't think Go Onger was that dark.
It was the complete opposite. It was very silly from what I've seen clips of. I mean, the Zords even are tiny little toy cars that talk.
Yeah, not like I kind of like the Voltosaurs, not the Voltosaurs. The mechs from Abba Ranger, how like they didn't do this in the Power Rangers, but they would talk to the Rangers via the plates on their morphers.
Okay, that makes sense. What about back to like nostalgic things? Actually, first of all, what time do you want to end this? By the way.
Well, I would say let's continue on till how late can you go?
I can go for another like maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, well, let's go for that 5 to 10 minutes then, and then JT and I will keep going for like another couple, like half hour, an hour after that.
Okay, I'll watch live from there. I'll watch.
Sounds good. Because you've probably got school tomorrow, don't you?
Oh no, it's just that I have other things I'm doing. I was actually in the middle of drawing, and I want to finish that before I go.
Okay, well, we'll wrap this up. But as long as we're on the subject of Power Rangers, was it a good idea to put it back in the hands of Saban?
I thought so at first, but then I started to regret it because of how toned down it was. I mean, I expected great things from Samurai, and regretted what I expected because
I know exactly how you feel.
Instead of getting good storytelling, mature characters, what we got was bad acting. I mean, bad acting for Power Ranger standards acting.
Yep.
I was not convinced they were Power Rangers. If anything, I was convinced they were just teenage ninja wannabes. They cut out an entire episode because it was deemed too violent when all they had were cuts and bruises or tiny cuts, which is what you saw a lot of in Lost Galaxy. So
that ticked me off. But I think that was Nickelodeon's fault, not Saban's. And I think they had to tone it down even more after that because of the censor radar, the dang FCC and Nickelodeon and all that stuff. So I can't entirely blame Saban. I have to blame the TV networks for limiting them with what they can do.
It's not just TV networks, it's studios in general that I feel can ruin a really good production.
Yeah. So I honestly think we can't blame Saban for anything because he tried to make it how it was, and it's just he can't do that anymore, or they can't do that anymore. I mean, even Chip Lynn, one of the greatest writers in Power Rangers, failed with Dino Supercharge. You don't just do that when you're that great, unless one, you lost your touch, or two, you're being limited to what you can do.
Yep, I mean, there are plenty of examples of this happening in Hollywood. Like, who here remembers sort of a combination animation and live-action movie called Cool World?
Cool World. Hold on. I may have.
Well, let's not even limit it to just Hollywood, though. YouTube in general is starting to limit the content that we can put out, too.
Yeah, I think it's probably, at this point, it's probably already too late to monetize this video.
It is. Luckily for you and I, we were grandfathered in on our channel.
So we still got the monetization option on ours.
1992 Cool World? I need to see that because I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, Cool World. It was made by the same guy who did the Fritz the Cat cartoons.
Okay, is it rated R? It looks like it's a rated R movie.
It's adult oriented.
Awesome. I'm gonna enjoy watching this. It looks hilarious.
You see,
Brad Pitt's in it.
Yep. So originally, Cool World was supposed to be a horror movie about what happens when a human doinks a tune, and they have a kid. And that kid was supposed to be like the monster of the movie. He was supposed to travel between worlds, realizing he doesn't belong in any of them, killing everything.
Okay.
But then the studio got a hold of it, and they choked the life out of it, and we got the kind of movie that it was. Fritz the Cat, on the other hand, was what Backsheet, the guy who did this stuff, really was good at doing. He was good at taking animation and making it for adults. It was raunchy. It was political. It was offensive, essentially. And
images, Frisk the Cat.
While we're talking on offensive and whatnot, and
it's that. Oh yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about. I know what Frisk the Cat is.
On the subject of offensive, JT.
Hold on.
I know what you're talking about. It was recommended in my 1001 Comics You Must Read Before You Die book. First image of him tucking his hand. That's funny.
Okay, JT?
Actually, the first image that shows up is
hold on, Kenman.
From Undertale.
Let's try to keep this moving smoothly. JT was going to talk?
Okay, yeah.
Apparently not, but anyway. While we're on the topic of offensive in Hollywood, I want to point something out. I personally consider homicide and suicide on the same level of violence and offensiveness.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to point out that Hollywood seems to think that homicide is much lower than suicide on the spectrum, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Homicide would be down here, everybody sees it. But when somebody gets on the touchy subject of suicide, it's way up here and nobody wants to touch on the subject.
I think the problem is, like, with homicide, there's a bad guy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the bad guy is usually also the cause of death. But with suicide, if there is a bad guy, they're usually not the cause of death, and then it's an awkward thing to write around.
I wasn't up there. I've been taking a shit down here. It was probably Mason. Sorry.
Okay, well, I gotta go now.
Oh, anyway, yeah. So we'll see you later, Kenman. JT and I will keep going for a little bit, and then we'll end the stream.
Good speaking with you, sir.
Yep. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yep. And I think just the biggest. Yep. And I think just the biggest issue with it is, like, well,
If done right, a suicide.
If done right, you can make a good emotional scene.
Yeah, but nobody wants to get crucified for, forgive me for phrasing it this way, creating a bad suicide.
Yeah, and that's the only way. Like, it was directed poorly or whatever, but I think 13. Like, I have not seen it. I've not heard too much about it. I am getting some very conflicting opinions on like the characters, but 13 Reasons I hear is focuses on that.
Now, there are levels of okay. There are reasonings for suicide that I do deem acceptable. If you're using your life to save, let's say, 1 million. Okay, much in the case of like 13 Ghosts. I'm going to reference the remake because I didn't watch the original. Tony Shalhoub ended up giving up his life at the end of the movie to save the rest of his families.
Okay.
So that the other making himself the 13th ghost, blah blah blah. Spoiler alert for nobody who has ever seen that. I apologize.
Yeah. So like, there's the martyr, the heroic death.
Yeah, the heroic death. I prefer that versus like using suicide as a like an emotionally crippling flaw for a main character. Got 2 more Whoppers. Like character's wife commits suicide. Much in the way of like hide and seek. In the very beginning, Robert De Niro's wife, you find her bleeding out in a bathtub. In which case, it gives Robert De Niro's character depth. You froze up.
Oh, there I am. I'm good. Devil's Carnival. Have you seen that?
No, but I do recommend watching it.
Devil's Carnival is a musical, believe it or not. Whether or not it's a good musical depends on what you expect a musical to be. But it focuses on, essentially, it turns hell into a carnival. And then, the different attractions are different specialized punishments. And the ringleader of the carnival is the devil himself.
Satan.
Anyway, Satan, Lucifer, the devil, friggin' Hades, whatever you want to use. They don't really name him. So he can be any incarnation. But essentially, the last victim that you see in this died via suicide. Because I guess his son had died, or he had hurt his son. I don't know the precise, because they're not very clear on that. But essentially, the devil lets him go because he said he didn't want to grieve.
Okay.
And so he sends him to heaven, and then this kind of a chubby, balding guy who makes a bunch of dolls, who's supposed to be God, sees him rise up out of the reject pile of dolls, and then God throws a hissy fit because one of the rejects came back.
Wow. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way of looking at it. If you are devoutly Christian, I would not recommend watching this.
Agreed. We're not going to offend anybody of any sort of race, ethnic, or any sort of ethnic group, any sort of religious affiliate.
Race, nation, or creed.
Thank you.
But if you're not easily offended by religious symbolism, then I would say go watch this movie.
And if you are, well, you're missing out on a lot of good stories.
Yep. Granted, but yeah, if you're like the kind of guy or gal or whatever who plays Final Fantasy, or anything Japanese that has like a lot of anti-Christian symbolism in it, then this might be for you. I mean, like, I don't know why it seems to me in Japanese media anyway, that oftentimes angels are made out to be the villains.
Bayonetta, Devil May Cry.
Bayonetta, Devil May Cry.
Well, DMC. Angels
Yeah.
never really played an influence in the other Devil May Cry games.
Yep.
You always end up rooting for the demon when you play a JRPG.
Yep. Oh, and then you've got like anime like Mobile Suit Gundam, Iron-Blooded Orphans. All of the Gundams are named after demons, and then the giant weapons of mass destruction that the Gundams were designed to fight are all named after angels.
Even better, or another good recommendation, completely like it's complete. It's complete. You're rooting for Satan, but what was that called?
The Devil is a Part-Timer?
Yes.
Oh man, I love that show.
Right?
It's just it's like, okay, let's take Satan out of his fantasy setting here and let's put him in modern day Japan. He has no power. He's got well, he has no qualifications, so he goes for the only job that you can get with almost no qualifications.
Let's go work at a McDonald's, copyrighted.
Yeah, WickDonald's.
WickDonald's. Anyway, McDonald's is copyrighted. You cannot use the name, the arches, or the colors.
Sorry. Unless you turn it upside down. But I loved that. I found that to be hilarious.
No, so I was given a disclaimer so that McDonald's didn't come down on our asses.
Yeah, yeah. But it is hilarious, too, to think of Satan as this, like, dedicated fast food worker.
He's a manager.
He's a manager, and it's just like, who else wants to be the manager?
Satan.
Satan. So, yeah, now we know fast food isn't good for you.
Right. There's a whole lot of different. While we're on the topic of anime, there's a whole lot of different animes that, pardon, just really capitalize on making you love Satan.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly sure how to feel about that.
It's like Japan's trying to ruin American Christianity, and I'm completely okay with it.
Well, there's actually a bit of an interesting history behind that. Essentially, they call it the dawn of the three black ships. It was 3 American trade ships showed up in Japan one day, and that's when, like, I believe America was the one who forced Japan out of its isolation. It was either America or England. It was an English-speaking country.
It was probably England, because they were. I think they were on their way through with the opium trade through China, and Japan was pretty much the next stop.
Yep, and they kind of forced Japan out of isolation. And part of forcing them out of isolation was the introduction of Christianity, which the Japanese government did not take kindly to.
Christianity, Western art.
Yeah, it was like, as a matter of fact, those Japanese people who actually did believe in Christianity, those who did identify as Christian by choice, were criminalized. And so you can understand why there might be a lot of anti-religion or anti-Christian symbolism in anime today, because I don't think they're still entirely over that, or it could be, because a lot of their modern art is connected to their historical art. It could just be them connecting with history a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh,
oh, sorry, I was yawning. You know, Samurai Champloo actually covers that time period.
Yeah, I know. The secret churches.
Yeah, I just thought I would put that out there with the red-headed fellow who wants to be Asian, but so that he can do stuff with men.
Oh yeah, the Russian guy.
Yeah.
Who heard about Bushido and had heard that samurai had sworn off women, and that some of them were like, believe it or not, historically the majority of samurai were probably gay. As a matter of fact, Miyamoto Musashi was likely to be gay, although we've never seen any evidence. At least I haven't seen any evidence confirming it. But yeah, so it's also kind of a weird thing because Japan is weird with homosexuality.
Rule 34 is really, really prevalent in Japan. So like if you can think of it, there is porn of it. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is like sexuality is the way it's portrayed in Japan is way different from anywhere in the West. First of all, while they're definitely more open to showing it in their art and in anime, as far as I'm aware, a lot of them, those who like are straight or cisgender, really don't understand the point of view, and a lot of people out here in the West don't understand it either. The point of view of people in the LGBT community.
Now here's another thing. This could be attributed to the fact that by comparison, Japanese people only have sex maybe 3 to 4 times out of the year, versus Americans who have sex 3 to 4 times a week.
True, and part of that is like just that also comes to like the declining population of Japan right now.
Yeah.
So they like a lot of us who are anime fans and tokusatsu fans and JRPG fans, whatnot, don't really think of Japan, like often think of Japan as a country that actually might legitimately be in trouble.
They're in trouble.
Oh yeah, it's like
they're so fucking uptight about sex.
Well, it's not so that they're uptight. It's a question of like just how sexually aggressive, different people are. Many males or men, straight men in Japan, identify as herbivores, meaning they really don't want to get into a sexual relationship with a woman at the time. And many women are what you would call carnivores by comparison.
Yeah, they need the sex, but the men don't.
They want it, and the question at that point becomes, is like, okay, so that results in a declining birth rate, apparently, and projections say that in like at this point, probably around 50 years, half of Japan's population is going to be too old to work.
Yeah, not to mention there's us white people who come over with completely only sex on the brain. Therefore, there is a possibility that, like, Japanese are going to end up breeded out by white people.
Oh, geez, I hope, like, first of all, I hope not, because have you seen white people? We're dorky.
We're fucking ugly. I'm just being honest. There's not a lot of attractive white people.
Subjective, but
in my opinion, there's not a lot of attractive white people, but I'm sexually attracted to Asians. So how did this go from Nickelodeon to our sexual preferences and race? And we're probably going to get crucified for even mentioning this.
Well, that is kind of a... Damn it, JT!
I appreciate Kenman Rider for being on and taking us back on track. Because, like, you were the chosen one! You were supposed to...
Talking about the villainization of angels and whatnot, I've actually got a message from from our viewer right now, our one viewer, Tone. Hi again.
Hi.
Okay, so I guess she's done some research into this. Because Christianity, when it came to Japan, was so monogamous that the Japanese absolutely hated it when it was forced on them. Buddhism and all other huge cultures in Japan kind of interchange with each other.
You can take bits and pieces out. And I'm sorry, I forgot her name.
Tone is her username.
Tome, I apologize. I'm not as, like, cool as this guy.
Oh, you're plenty cool. You're just you're the rated R superstar of YouTube.
I'll accept that name gladly.
But anyway, backpedaling, because I think we just walked into a minefield that we definitely had no business going into because we were too busy gabbing to each other.
I forgot we were recording.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what happens.
yeah. I have to keep checking this corner here for the little yellow live box, but okay, back on, like, let's talk about some of the subjects that we didn't get to talk to because we failed at recording last time.
I have the audio to that. I can always just like base picture that shit when we're talking. I finally got the email with the audio.
Oh, good. But I feel like since we're here already, let's just talk about a few of the subjects. Firstly, why don't we talk about the GPD?
GPD! Oh, I'm horny for that device.
JT here is a technosexual.
Oh yes. If it has a USB slot, I will try to stick my dick in it.
Well, essentially the GPD.
Censor that. I will correct myself and say dip my wick.
Anyway, JT, since you're obviously the one clearly excited about it, why don't you describe to our viewer here what the GPD is?
The GPD. Okay, imagine a Nintendo 3DS, slightly bigger, with the full capabilities to run Windows 10, anything you can buy off of Steam, just anything, okay? It runs Steam games, like I just said, YouTube videos, anything like that, content creation for like if you're doing like RPG Maker style games. It doesn't quite do it doesn't quite have the ability to do what's that called? To produce Unreal Engine games because it's a handheld. It's essentially a handheld laptop. Like I said, it's 3DS sized, so it's got full keyboard, full A, B, X, Y keys. What are you laughing at?
Oh, nothing. I just got another message.
Oh, LB.
She quoted you.
Quoted me. We'll figure that out in a minute. Trigger buttons for when you're playing stuff and joysticks. So it's a full emulation device that runs Windows 10. I'm excited about it because like I can make my content on the go. I don't have to sit on my ass with a laptop and mess with that. Yes, laptops are portable and all that, but they're bulky. I want something I can just like throw in a little book bag and pull out when necessary and just text like a phone.
Yeah, like I don't know if the guys who make the GPD are watching. If you are, we would love some new equipment for our channel.
I want to playtest this for you guys. I really do. This specifically, my channel is specifically a tech/video game channel, and that would just make my life.
Absolutely.
I would endorse your product every single time I start a video.
Absolutely. Actually, what this makes me excited for the existence of the GPD is the future of portable computers. Because the GPD is one of a couple, like there's the Pandora box and whatnot, or the Open Pandora, I apologize. But
next hit was going to be a cotton hit, and that would have killed me. I think I would have cried. Go ahead.
Jeez. But it's like there's the GPD, there's the Open Pandora. These are the first generation of portable computers, and I really hope that people will stick with it long enough, or at least give it enough attention.
Now, you should really emphasize the word portable because, like I said, laptops are portable. This brings portability to a whole new level. Yeah, we have tablets, but tablets don't exactly run things as a computer would, as like your laptop would.
And I feel like if people could just at least stay interested in it, follow it long enough that that we see like a second generation, a third generation, things getting more and more advanced.
Basically, look at the Nintendo DS progressions.
You had the big clunky piece of silver to start with, and
then
that's like kind of what the GPD is right now. It's like it's this big fat.
Comparison-wise, I think it would be a fatter version of the 3DS.
And if we just, granted, I'm not such a big fan that it runs Windows 10, but if they could give you the option to throw a different operating system on there, I think that would be the perfect thing to do. It's like,
where did she quote us?
Oh, sorry. She is on a different app right now.
Is it the Amino app?
Yeah. Anyway. So I just want to say something.
I want to know this quote. What is she quoting?
Your apparent fetish for USB ports.
I like this kid.
Yep, she's a hoot. And I hope she will stick with the dojo for a long time.
I hope she brings in fans. I want my own fangirl. But I'm too big of a douchebag.
But yeah, I hope the GPD is one of the first in what I hope, in my heart of hearts, to be a long line of glorious technology.
Now, you don't also you also don't have to rely too heavily on the internal storage of the GPD either. You can also hook up your external hard drive via USB port as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't some of the versions of the GPD come with an extra port?
Yeah, it charges via phone charger, but you got to keep it turned off. It comes with like an external USB or an internal USB port to plug in like an external flash drive or an external hard drive, things of that nature. You're not limited to just the storage on device.
Yeah, and there's SD card space as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you can also put SD cards in there, micro SD cards. But I'm more of a fan of the removable hard drive. I mean, like you can it'll be annoying to what?
Oh, our viewer just said that you're pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Actually, I'm going to showcase something that I just bought. If that's okay.
Please do.
Something that I wish I feel like Chaz wishes he had. I gotta find all the pieces, parts to it. There we go.
Oh yeah, so for those of you who are wondering, yes, my real name is Chaz. We're not going to give last names anyway. It's not a big deal.
No, I'm Justin.
Yep.
But I'm leaving it at that.
Yep, we're gonna. But yeah, so
you can contact
JT
us.
here, Justin.
You can, if it's really imperative that you contact us, you can contact us through our Facebook pages, leave us messages and whatnot. You can get a hold of him through his El Chizo Reviews page.
Yep, I'm also on Twitter, elchizo1. So hit me up on there.
I'm also on Twitter as shit. What was that? Game Trash Day, I do believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game Trash Day, because I suck at gaming. I'm very, very self-deprecative, and I don't appreciate that about that. Anyway.
You're getting offended at yourself.
Yeah, I'm offending myself, and it's ridiculous. I have with me today. I'll zip it up real quick. No, I won't. This.
What is that?
Insignia's PC repair kit. A PC
You know
toolkit.
I'm building a PC.
I'm going to be building one here soon, too. Comes with a static wristband. Removes all static while you're dealing with your components, whatnot. 20 of every kind of screw, washer, and whatnot that you would need for building a PC. Sorry. a pen light, which is actually fairly strong. Might as well advertise products, see if we can get revenue.
Or if we can just, you know, get them to sponsor us.
Right. And a screwdriver with multiple bits here. One for each, any kind of screw that you would fucking need. They load you down, which is shit, okay? They straight load you down with anything that you could think of you needing for building your own PC. Like they set you up.
You lucky jackass.
It's $24 at or 25. Oh fuck, that can't be good.
Uh-oh. It's brand new, don't.
No, I got a couple of the Allen heads stuck together. It's not like it's a big deal, but I'll sort that out later.
Yeah, it's like,
that's gonna be a mess on its own.
I just bought an off-road, okay? So that was my $25.
Yeah, no, you jumped straight into buying the components. I figured I'd play it smart and buy a fucking toolkit.
Because I'm a friggin' asshole. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
No, you knew what you were doing, just not all the way through. You're kind of
yeah, I mean, like, I understood how the components went together. I just didn't have tools. I still don't fully understand how the components go together. I'm having trouble with this, so at some point I may just have to, you know, swallow my pride and take it down to the computer repair shop and yell at them until it works.
That or beautiful viewers, please help this man out.
Yeah, if you or anyone you know is a computer whiz, please let me know what the heck I'm doing wrong with my MSI 970 gaming motherboard and why I can't get any video out of it. And if you say access the onboard graphics, I'm gonna slap you because people keep telling me that, and I'm
El Chizo, sorry. Yours was an MSI 990?
970.
970 with what kind of graphics card did you pick up?
An EVGA.
No. Those aren't compatible. MSI 970s are only compatible with certain things.
You would think, though, that they have to conform to a certain standard.
Just hold that thought. I actually have this on my Amazon list. Comparison, I will or I have everything put together based off of what MSI 970 is compatible with. Where's my phone? Did I tomahawk it over my bed? Nope, it's
We're gonna
safe.
wait.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What the hell does Dad want now?
Okay, well, while JT is doing his thing. Yes, I am a complete computer noob. I was operating under the assumption that, and I can probably just sell these graphics cards again if I have to, because they are literally not used. Well, they're used, but they have like no wear on them. So I'll probably just sell them again for the compatible ones. Then I just assumed that they had to conform to a certain standard.
Okay, Chaz, I'm gonna have to cut this off here. I have to call my dad because apparently he's been trying to get a hold of me for like an hour.
Oh, well, then we'll let you go. Then we'll have to end the stream here. Thank you for the one viewer that we have that was sitting with us through the live stream. Thank you to all future viewers of this stream.
Sorry, go ahead.
If you want to follow us on Facebook, we are at Weekend Dojo on Facebook, and I don't think do we have a Twitter yet?
We don't have a Twitter yet. I haven't set one up.
We don't have a Twitter yet. You can also
sorry.
You can also follow me and JT at the pages that we mentioned before.
JT Games TV on YouTube, Game Trash Day Game Trash Day on Twitter, and JT Games TV on Facebook. Or JT Game TV, no S.
Yep. El Chizo Reviews on Facebook, El Chizo1 on Twitter. And you can, if you go back to the Weekend Dojo channel page, all of our channels, including Kenman's from earlier, are going to be in the featured channels page. So please come check us out. We'd be happy to have your viewership. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you later.
See you guys later.